Welcome to Fights, the ultimate home of UFC breaking news. Terence Crawford shocks the world, ends Canelo era. In the world of combat sports, there are nights that become timeless, nights that remind us why boxing is often called the sweet science. This was one of those nights. Under the glittering lights and the roaring anticipation of a sold-out arena, Terence "Bud" Crawford stepped into the ring against Saul Canelo Alvarez, a man widely considered one of the greatest fighters of his generation. What followed was not just a fight, it was history in motion, a masterpiece painted in jabs, counters, and pure ring intelligence. Crawford did not just defeat Canelo Alvarez, he dismantled the myth, rewrote history, and elevated himself into the rarest echelon of greatness. From the opening bell, the narrative became clear. Canelo Alvarez, strong and dangerous as always, pressed forward with his usual confidence. The Mexican superstar, beloved across the globe for his ferocity and body-punching brilliance, believed his power and experience would eventually crack Crawford. But Terence Crawford is not a fighter who relies on hopes or mistakes. He is a craftsman who takes the canvas of a fight and transforms it into art. With immaculate footwork, surgical precision, and the patience of a hunter, Crawford made Canelo miss, made him pay, and made millions watching around the world realize that something extraordinary was unfolding. Each round told its own story. In the first few minutes, Canelo tried to impose his will, with heavy hooks to the body, attempting to slow Crawford down. But Crawford, unfazed, circled with calm efficiency, switching stances effortlessly, firing sharp jabs and lacing in sneaky counters. He turned Canelo's aggression against him. By the third round, it was evident that Crawford's timing was a level above. The jabs snapped Canelo's head back more than once, a rare sight against a man known for his defensive skills and granite chin. As the middle rounds approached, the arena's energy shifted. The roars for Canelo grew quieter, while the gasps for Crawford's brilliance grew louder. Fans saw Canelo Alvarez, a four-division champion who had walked through legends, struggling to land cleanly, looking frustrated, chasing shadows. Crawford dictated pace and space, turning what many thought would be a war into a clinic. He mixed precision with punishment, punishing Canelo's attempts with uppercuts, counterhooks, and bodywork of his own. Every time Canelo loaded up for a signature bomb, Crawford slipped just out of range, pivoted, and stung him with a shot he never saw coming. The commentators struggled to find words that could capture what was happening. Some called it a masterclass, others said it was a once-in-a-generation performance. But perhaps the best description came from the silence between Canelo's punches. The great Mexican champion, usually so composed, wore a look of frustration and fatigue. Crawford had stripped away his aura of invincibility and replaced it with doubt. By the championship rounds, the result was no longer in question. Canelo Alvarez, proud and relentless, refused to quit, still throwing, still hoping to find the punch that could change everything. But Crawford would not allow it. He was too sharp, too smart, too complete. Round after round, Crawford showcased why he is regarded as one of the best pound-for-pound fighters of this era. His ability to adapt, to neutralize, to punish, and to dominate was on full display. As the final bell rang, the crowd rose in recognition. They knew they had just witnessed greatness. The judges' scorecards confirmed what everyone already knew. Terence Crawford had not only beaten Canelo Alvarez, he had done it in decisive, historic fashion. He became the man who took on a legend and emerged as something greater. For years, fans debated whether Crawford, who had unified divisions and conquered every challenge in front of him, could truly stand among the greatest. On this night, he erased every doubt. In the post-fight interview, Crawford's emotions poured out. He spoke of respect for Canelo, of the journey that brought him here, and of the sacrifices few ever see. "I told everybody what I was going to do," Crawford said with a mix of pride and relief. "They doubted me. They said I hadn't fought anyone like Canelo, but tonight I showed the world who I am." His words echoed not just in the arena but across the globe, where millions of fans watched a dream realized. For Canelo Alvarez, the defeat was crushing but not dishonorable. He gave everything he had, as he always does, but on this night, he simply met a fighter who was untouchable. Boxing is unforgiving, and even legends face moments when time and brilliance collide. Canelo's legacy is still secure. He remains one of the sport's greatest champions, a fighter who dared to face anyone, anywhere, at any time. But Crawford's win represents a shift, a passing of the torch, and perhaps the clearest sign yet that he is the true king of boxing. The significance of this victory extends beyond belts and records. Crawford's triumph symbolizes a moment when skill triumphs over power, when patience conquers pressure, when the art of boxing reminds us that it is not only about brute strength, but about intelligence, adaptability, and mastery. Fans will debate where Crawford now ranks among the all-time greats, but what cannot be debated is that this performance was one of the ages. In the weeks and months ahead, speculation will swirl about what comes next. Will Crawford retire at the pinnacle, cementing his legacy untouched? Will he chase another historic challenge, perhaps daring to step into yet another weight class? Or will there be a rematch, giving Canelo a chance at redemption? Whatever the future holds, the memory of this night will remain untarnished. It was the night Terence Crawford stood under the brightest lights, faced the biggest challenge of his career, and emerged with a victory that will be spoken of for generations. Boxing thrives on moments like this. The legends of the past, Ali, Leonard, Duran, Mayweather, Pacquiao, all had nights where their greatness was defined. For Terence Crawford, this was that night. A night when he painted his masterpiece, when he made history, when he beat Canelo Alvarez and reminded the world why boxing endures as the purest expression of human competition. Terence Crawford did not just win a fight, he wrote a chapter of history. And for those who were fortunate enough to watch, it was a privilege, a memory, and a story to be told for decades to come. Thanks for watching Fights, your front row seat to every knockout, comeback, and breaking UFC moment. Like, share, and subscribe to never miss the next big fight.